believe in.
You believe in hell?
I believe in three gifts.
Okay.
Because I'm saying when he say he's gonna be in the belly of the well, I mean he's gonna be in the belly of the earth, and Jonah was in the belly of the well. You know what I'm saying? And then when he said he went down there to free the souls. You know, so where did Christ go in the 3 days when he was dead?
So Christ went to hell?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It say he freed. I think he freed the souls that was unruly souls, something like that. Whatever.
The souls that were in bondage?
Yeah, something like
that. What is a soul?
The soul is different from the spirit. A soul is our personality, I guess.
A soul is different than the spirit, right?
Yeah.
When do you become a soul?
I guess when you start thinking.
When your spirit, right? It say the spirit was put into Adam's flesh and he became what?
Yeah, living.
A living soul, right? So if your spirit is outside of your flesh, you ain't got no soul. If your spirit is not in your flesh, there is no soul. The soul is your psyche. It happens when you become conscious, when the spirit, the energy force that you are, inhabits the body that you are. Then you become alive, you become conscious. Like you say, you start thinking. That's your soul. If your spirit is outside of your body, ain't no soul, ain't no consciousness there. You see what I'm saying? So if your body is in the ground and your spirit goes somewhere else, how is your soul getting tormented?
So what I'm asking is, where did Christ go for the 3 days that he was in earth? He was sleeping? He went something because he said
he was sitting he was in the cave. First off, he yielded his spirit up, right? So his spirit went to where spirits go.
He descended.
Yeah. His spirit descended? Where is that at? Where does it say his spirit descended? When he died, when his spirit descended. Let's make sure.
He descended.
First Peter 3:18. For Christ also hath once suffered for sins, the just for the unjust, that he might bring us to God, being put to death in the flesh, but quickened by the Spirit.
All right, so he's put to death in the flesh, but quickened by the Spirit. Keep going.
But by which also he went and preached unto the spirits in prison.
So wait a minute. He says preach to what in prison? Spirits in prison, right? So where do spirits go to be in prison? I thought it was soul was getting in prison.
I'm gonna find out too. No, you're right about that.
Now watch. Let's see where spirits go. Read.
Ecclesiastes 3:21. Who knoweth the spirit of man that goeth upward?
They go where? Upward. They go upward. So the spirit ain't going to prison. It's going up back to the Father.
Right.
So who are the spirits in prison? It's you, brother.
Oh, okay.
You're the spirit. We are the spirits in prison. So when he was amongst Israel teaching us, that's when he was teaching to the spirits in prison. When he was just teaching Israel, because we was in captivity, right? Go ahead.
This is Isaiah 42:22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes. They are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey and none deliver it.
See that? So we is in a prison house. You see what I'm saying? That's it.
I'm looking for the one when they say he descended and
Did it say when he died his spirit descended, or did he say descended when he came back?
No, his spirit descended. When he died, his spirit descended and went into preaching to the souls. That's when he took the key from Satan. You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
No.
Now see, but what I'm saying is, Christians have created that doctrine through mixing scriptures together.
Right. That's why I'm just trying to go to the word descend.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The word descend means you. So when it says almost like Jonah was in the best, so shall the Son of Man be in earth.
Yeah.
The belly of the earth.
Yeah. He was in a cave. Yeah.
When they say the belly of the earth, the cave, you know what I'm saying? I'm from New Orleans. He was in the sepulchre. That's on top of the earth. Whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when they say he's gonna be in a
No, but from the Hebrew perspective, we call literally going into a cave or going into a mountain, going into the belly of the earth. That's a Hebraic saying. Okay. That's how we communicate. He went into the belly of the earth. He went into a cave. You say you from New Orleans?
Yeah. Oh, you do?
Nah, well, my family from Louisiana. You know, Haitians, you know, we Haitians, we built up that they know back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if I'm Levi, but I might be. I think I'm too.
What's your last name?
I'm
Green.
Green?
Yeah, you said Gray?
Yeah.
Yeah, what you gotta understand is, see, look, we was gonna go to New Orleans, like last month, or earlier this month, right? And I was getting ready to do this documentary. We ain't go because of the rain, but I was getting ready to do this documentary. I was gonna show how a lot of names brothers got down there is French, but it's anglicized. So when the white man came to put y'all certain people on the census, they just put the English version or whatever the name was. Like Maspy Miller, that's an anglicized French name. Carter, all that is anglicized. You see what I'm saying? So some brothers really could be Levi still, but their name has just been put into English, that's all. Because I know even my family understand they was messing our name up sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Down there in Lafayette and stuff.
A lot of them come from, like my grandpa, he come from Mississippi, so.
Yeah, but see, a lot was in Mississippi too. Because what you got to understand, in Mississippi was originally, the original Louisiana is Mississippi, right? Because Louisiana come from King Louis XIII. So when they came out, the French came and they stuck their flag, and the first place they went was Mississippi, and they said they named it Louisiana after Louis, right? So everything from Mississippi all over to Louisiana was original Louisiana, right? Then they started calling Mississippi after the river. You see what I'm saying? Because the American and the English white man, he ended up getting control of Mississippi. You know what I'm saying? But we got a brother who's a Levite, but his family, they come from Mississippi. You see what I'm saying? But they really would call Cartier, not Carter. Now they changed it. It's Carter. You see what I'm saying? So you know, that's how it goes. Either way, man. You know what I'm saying? The tribes, it really don't matter what tribe. You know what I mean? We just know we Israel, man. And it's, you know, sometimes some brothers like, I could be a Gadite, could be a Jew. I'm saying I got Indian in me. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, we know. Look, is everything going back to the tribes? All right, brother. At least we know that, right? And we're gonna do it like that. And then that's why, you know, in Ezekiel it say, you know, if you sojourning with a tribe, right, you may not sure you could go Levi, Judah, Gad, whatever. If you sojourning with Judah, then you know you could just go with Judah. You know what I'm saying? And then when the time comes, it'll all be figured out. But the Spirit be manifested, man, because all these, like I say, it's 12 trees laden with diverse fruit. So we all have the different spiritual characteristics that you can identify. Oh, the Levites, they act like the Judites, they act like Benjamin. You know, Benjamin, they do the dance hall music. You see what I'm saying? They jumping off the damn speaker. And they see it, that's their spirit, though. You know, that's why you can't deny it, because they got a certain spirit about them. Why is it all of them is like that? You can have one group in America, he ain't grow up in the islands. He's still like that. You see what I'm saying? Because it's a spiritual thing, man. A lot of people just not spiritual. You got a precept? Go ahead.
What's the three things of hell that you believe?
I mean, I think it was, I know the condition, the literal place, and the green.
Okay. Go ahead. You have something? Go ahead. Oh, yeah. Go ahead, read it.
Revelation 20:14. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire.
Oh, so that's why it's one of the main reasons why we don't believe in a place hell, because we know hell is going to be cast into the lake of fire. So if it's some place, how they going to put it in the lake of fire? We know America will become the lake of fire, Babylon. You see what I'm saying? So basically, that's how we know it's either, like you said, just the state of condition of hell, or just the actual grave where somebody gonna go. You know what I'm saying? Right? Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes 3:16. And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment, that wickedness was there, and the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there.
Exactly. So under the sun here on the earth, this is where all the judgment play out. You know what I'm saying? It's right here on the earth. That's why we had to go into captivity. Where we had to go right here on, you know what I mean, on the earth. All of it, everything happened here. You know, this is what they call, what some people call it's a stage. It's a stage, and we just acting out the Most High's place, so to speak.
Like even in the kingdom, like you say, gonna rule them by rod or iron, whatever. They gonna break them in. So once you break them into whatever, clay or whatever, where they gonna go?
They gonna come back the same way. They gonna go back up, and they gonna come back the same way. How everybody come back on that cycle. Everybody come back on that regeneration cycle, right? Matter of fact, yeah, there you go. Sing those 14. Yeah, everybody will come back on that cycle, but only one people ain't coming back, which we know is Edom. Because who got the power to kill? The Spirit. The Most High, right there, when he said, fear him who have power to kill the Spirit, he got power to kill that Spirit. You see what I'm saying? But go ahead.
2 Ezra 14:35. For after death shall judgment come.
After death, the judgment come. When? Read.
When we shall live again.
When what?
We shall live again.
So when we live again, that's when we live our judgment out, right? That's why we were wicked. Your last life, you might have been being wicked. You woke up, now we're on the damn plantation. What in the hell am I doing here, right? You're living your judgment out, right?
I don't know about it. When they say when you say your last life, whatever, you say you only be judged once, whatever. So if I live 15 lives, which one you gonna judge?
You get judged every time. You live your life, you get judged, then you live again, you live your judgment. That's how I say you get one judgment for each life you live. Boom, 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 boom. You see what I'm saying?
You say you only die once.
Yes, it is appointed for man to die one time, then the judgment, right? Then what? According to the Bible. Read it again.
2 Ezra 14:35. For after death shall the judgment come, when we shall live again.
And you live again. That's when you live your judgment out. So you go up to the air and say, all spirits go up, right? We read that in Ecclesiastes. That's when the Most High pronounced the judgment on you. Then when you live again, you live your judgment out. So you see somebody might be born a paraplegic in a wheelchair their whole life. That was their judgment. You see what I'm saying? That's how you know, or else why would the Most High just have somebody born like that? right?
So,
It's a judgment.
Right, but it sounds like you believe in reincarnation, but saying regeneration. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the East Indians believe in reincarnation. Reincarnation, you come back as a damn donkey, an elephant. You see what I'm saying? Regeneration means your spirit is regenerated. It comes back into another body. Your spirit is just on a cycle, just like water. Water in the cloud, it rain down, it make a puddle, it evaporate, go back up, become a cloud. We did the same thing. You see what I'm saying? We just on that cycle. That's why I say we shall live again. And a lot of our people believe that up in our families anyway. Your family think, oh, this is your great grandfather. He's back now in this little boy. We believe that anyway. But then we in Christianity, so then they tell us, oh, no, you can't believe that. But you say it any damn way, right? You see what I'm saying? So go ahead, like me, I got my son. My father convinced that my son is his father. You see what I'm saying? Especially you from Louisiana, you know that already. He been here before, right? How he act like that, right? No, we all been here before, right? Sharif? Even in Haiti, the concept of the zombie, right? People believe in a zombie, somebody walk around, right? Really, a zombie mean you somebody been reincarnated, right? That's what the term zombie come from in Haiti. Like they had somebody in the revolution called Jean Zombie, right? And they said the way he was killing during the revolution, he was killing white folks so viciously. They said he got to be a slave that came back like he mad as hell, like he that came back from the dead on their ass. You see what I'm saying? So that's what the original purpose of zombie was. Now they, Hollywood got it to where nigga were, you know what I'm saying? But really it was somebody coming back in the reincarnation. That's what they believe, right? But go ahead.
2 Esdras 5:42. And he said unto me, I will liken my judgment unto a ring.
Right, go ahead.
Like as there is no slackness of the last, even so there is no swiftness of the first.
So the Lord's judgment is on that cycle. You see what I'm saying? It's just like that circle. It's an ever-given circle. Somebody do bad. You do bad to somebody, then you're going to get judged for it, you know what I'm saying? Then you start all over again, So basically everything is just on that cycle. It's on that cycle, right? That's what it's about. Another precept?
One for hell real quick. Job 3:17. There the wicked cease from troubling, and there the weary be at rest. There the prisoners rest together. They hear not the voice of the oppressor. The small and great are there, and the servant is free from his master.
All right, so we're talking about when everybody die, everything cool, when basically everybody at rest in their death. He said even the wicked is at rest. The wicked is at rest. You see what I'm saying? So everybody go to rest. They got to get it right here on the earth. You know what I'm saying? Way we did, Go ahead, you have something else?
Let me read all of them to one place.
I think that's Ecclesiastes, right? Yeah.
This is another one for regeneration. Numbers 14 and 18. The Lord is long-suffering and of great mercy, forgiving iniquity and by transgression, and by no means clearing the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation.
See that? So that's how it worked. Why? Because it's people coming back in the regeneration. Hold on, so like you take it real.
You said what? Hold on. Someone read for me real quick. Right now, give me Malachi 4. Start at verse 5. Let me show you an example of this in the Bible, right? Malachi chapter 4 verse 5.
It's the book of Malachi, chapter 4, verse 5. Behold, I will send you Elijah, the prophet, before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord.
So the Most High says he's going to send Elijah, right? Now give me Matthew chapter 11. All right, let's see. With Christ, he can't lie, right? He won't lie? Right. So let me show you something. Matthew 11, let me see, where's it at? Okay, start at verse 14. Start at verse 12, matter of fact, just to get the context.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 11, verse 12. And from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, and the violence is taken by force.
So it's talking about John the Baptist, right? Go ahead.
For all the prophets of the law prophesied unto John. And if ye will receive it, this is Elijah's, which was for to come.
So Christ said that the Elijah that was for to come in Malachi 4 was John the Baptist.
Okay, but I thought he said he came in the spirit of.
No, it doesn't say that.
I'm talking about.
He didn't say that. Read it again. Read it again. No, get Malachi 4. It says he's going to send Elijah, not someone like the spirit of Elijah, not someone similar to Elijah. It says Matthew.
Here's what you have to understand about the Gospels, right? You got Matthew, you got Mark, you got Luke, and you got John. Who's the eyewitness?
None of them.
Matthew's the eyewitness. Matthew, one of the 12. Right?
Yeah.
So what does that mean? Matthew's authoritative.
I'm
not saying they contradict, but Matthew, as far as historicity, Matthew's authoritative. So if Matthew said that Christ said, this is John, then that is John. You see what I'm saying? Well, go ahead. I just want to make it.
Yeah, so do you agree that John the Baptist is Elijah?
Well, what do you? I don't, because I don't believe in reincarnation. But
Okay.
I'm
So what? So read it again. I just want you to understand something, right?
Yes.
Read it again.
This is Malachi chapter 4, verse 5. Behold, I will send you Elijah, the prophet, before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord.
When did Elijah live?
That's what I'm saying. He lives in Kings.
In Kings, right? But he's going to come in before the great and terrible day of the Lord. What does that mean?
Right. So almost like the two witnesses in the street, Moses and Elijah. So that don't mean them two coming, right?
No, I'm asking you a direct question.
Oh, my bad.
What does that mean?
Say it again.
What does it mean that Elijah is going to come? He says he's going to send Elijah before the great and terrible day of the
I thought I
Lord.
read it in the spirit. When I read, I think it's in Matthew. It was the spirit of Elijah. He said they didn't know it yet, like he told Peter them.
Read it. We'll read it in Matthew. Let's read it, and we'll read it. We're going to read every word. Matthew 11, start at verse 12, read through 14.
This is Matthew 11.
This is red letter. This is Christ speaking. Go ahead.
Verse 12. And from the days of John the Baptist until now the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force. For all the prophets of the law prophesied until John. And if ye will receive
And
it,
if you can understand this, what?
this is Elijah.
This is who?
Elias.
Read it. Elijah.
Elijah, which was for to come.
So he's referencing Malachi the 4th chapter. He said John the Baptist is Elijah. That's what he said. We can agree that's what he said, right? So
You can get Ecclesiastes 4 and 16.
You gotta do that. You gotta do it for John.
Yeah.
You gotta do it for John. You gotta. Yeah, because real quick, find it. Because basically, I'm gonna have them pull it. But you had two different instances. You had an instance where they were asking John the Baptist who he was in the reincarnation.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So what does that show?
Right.
We believed in that, right?
But the Pharisees was asking that, right? Yeah.
They said, "Who are you? You the Christ? Or you this? Who basically? Who are you coming back?" But then we know in Ecclesiastes says there's no remembrance of former things.
Right.
So whoever you were, you couldn't really know no way. You know what I'm saying? You just, as far as you know, you just you know. But go ahead.
Matthew chapter 16 and start at verse 13.
This is Matthew 16 and 13. When Yahushua came into the coast of Caesarea,
City in Israel was Cornelius is also from there, right? Go ahead.
Philippi, he asked the disciples, saying, "Whom do men say that I, the Son of Man, am?" And they said, "Say that some say, Salaki." And they said, "Some say that thou art John the Baptist."
Now, how would they say that he's John the Baptist?
Right.
How?
I guess.
He died, right?
Yeah, right.
He got his head cut off.
Right.
So how is he John the Baptist?
No, he was saying they say he's John the Baptist.
No, but that's the understanding that they have. How would they have that understanding if that? Because real quick, reincarnation, we're not taking it like the Eastern Indian. You die, you come back as a butterfly or something like that. The word reincarnation, when you break it down to etymology, simply means back. Karna means the flesh. It means back in the flesh. That's all it really means, right? Not again, you don't die and come back as a damn wasp or something, right? So read it. Keep going.
Some Elijah, and others Jeremiah's.
Others who?
Jeremiah's, or one of the prophets.
So it said some people think you're Jeremiah or one of the other prophets. Now, how would they have the understanding if they didn't already have an understanding of reincarnation? Because Jeremiah lived during the time of Babylon.
But even Christ, I feel you with that. But like Christ's own words say, when they asked him, Elijah, he said he must truly come. He said he did come.
He did, yeah, he did come. They didn't know it, yeah. Because who was he?
But it must have been,
Who was he?
He was saying John the Baptist.
Exactly.
So what I'm saying, I'm trying to find one with the spirit. He said he came in the spirit of John the Baptist.
So is Christ going to contradict himself?
Nah.
He's not, right? So, first, number one, the eyewitness, Matthew, says this is, number two, right? So in regeneration, we can substantiate in the Bible that you said Elijah died, his spirit went up, and he came back as John the Baptist. So, of course, John the Baptist is going to have to come in the same spirit of Elijah because that is the same spirit. It's the same person.
I don't know if it literally mean that, whatever. You
Okay,
know
well,
what I'm saying?
did he
He said we
literally
got the same spirit.
did he literally say that John the Baptist was Elijah?
Yeah, he said that.
Okay, so then it's not going to contradict itself.
No, I know, but I'm saying when he said the spirit with it, I don't think he's saying me and you sharing the spirit with it. You know what I'm saying? We all in the same spirit. We all in the same spirit.
No.
They say in the spirit of hate, the spirit of love, the spirit of whatever.
So what does it mean to come in the spirit of Elijah?
That's what I mean. I'm thinking teaching the same thing, teaching you know what I'm saying? Teaching the same thing that Elijah was teaching.
Okay,
Like
that's
that.
what. Okay, is there any way you can go to prove that?
No. With the question you asked me about the spirit.
Yeah, about that. Like, is there any way you can go to prove that him coming in the spirit of Elijah is meaning that he was teaching the same things of Elijah?
That's what it looks like.
Well, matter of fact, get Isaiah 40th chapter. He wasn't necessarily teaching the same things as Elijah. There may have been similarities, but it tells you what John was teaching.
If we want to be technical, who was Elijah sent to?
He sent to the northern side.
Right? So who was John the Baptist sent to?
Yes, I mean, the northern tribe is gone already.
Right? So he sent to the southern tribes. See what I'm saying? So he wasn't even doing the same thing. Then he was going around killing folks, you know what I'm saying, raising people from the dead. John wasn't doing none of that.
No, I feel
So I'm saying, so how is he like Elijah?
No.
It tells you what John the Baptist was speaking. Get Isaiah 40:3. Yeah, exactly. Get Isaiah 40:3. Watch it.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 40, verse 3. The voice of him that crieth in the wilderness.
What was that? John the Baptist. Go ahead.
Prepare ye the way of the Lord.
Elijah saying that? Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Make straight in the desert a highway for our God.
Was Elijah saying that?
No, Elijah was saying that.
He wasn't. So you said come in the spirit of Elijah is teaching the same things, but Elijah wasn't teaching the same things as John the Baptist.
Talk about the same, Isaiah was saying that. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that's what I mean by teaching the same spirit in the same spirit with us.
So why would it isolate? Can you teach the same things Elijah taught?
Yeah, I do.
So you can come in the spirit of Elijah.
Right.
So why would he single out John the Baptist specifically for coming in the spirit of Elijah and fulfilling Malachi the 4th chapter? If anybody can do it.
I guess you single him out because none greater than John the Baptist. I don't know. I'm just guessing with it.
But you shouldn't guess though.
Well, I don't know the answer.
Oh, then just say that. Then just
Yeah,
say.
I don't know that.
All right. Keep going though.
Verse 4. Every valley shall be exalted, and every mountain and hill shall be made low.
This is end time eschatology. This is what John the Baptist was teaching. Elijah wasn't teaching that. So to take to come with the notion that come in the spirit of Elijah means you were just teaching the same thing as him. Well, that's just not found in the text, brother. You see what I'm saying? It's just not there.
I'm just saying, like you say, reincarnation. I mean, not reincarnation. I mean, I believe in regeneration. You know what I'm saying?
What is regeneration? Get Matthew 19, 28.
I'm saying, when we die, whatever, we just sitting there waiting. You believe in the bosom of Abraham?
The bosom of Abraham, is that real, or is that a parable?
It's a parable, whatever. But
Okay.
I mean, but also,
So is it parabolic or?
the reason why I say it's real because when they say Christ descended,
Where Abraham's bosom at?
it's in the middle of earth.
You know Abraham's bosom is the name of a lake in Israel.
It could be.
It's a lake. That's what he's talking about. He's talking about a lake. That's why he says it's a gulf between us.
Gone between.
It's a lake. Oh, it's a lake, bro.
No, I'm saying it could be whatever.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, once I find the thing when they say he descended, whatever. So that's what got me when they say Christ descended. Unless you could go in the Greek, whatever, and find a different word for descend, whatever.
I wanted to see when he descended.
Yeah. When they say he descended.
Yeah, because I don't. Other than him literally coming from heaven, when the time comes, him descending there. But I'm talking about when he died, descended. Yeah, I don't think that exists. But go ahead. Sorry, though, you can find it. I mean, I could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? We can't rule out somebody could be wrong, right? Go ahead.
Yeah, but like you said, brother, the hell is two things: it's condition or the grave. That's it. Condition or the grave.
So that's what I'm saying. He got me. I mean, not got me, whatever. But he gave me something about when he said about the spirit being in jail, whatever. But from my understanding, from my reading and understanding, being told, whatever. He went to the souls that were disobedient in the first love. You know what I'm saying? When he said,
Can you show me that?
I think that's in first.
There.
I ain't gonna lie.
There we go.
Just so based on the understanding, I would need to know how we can read this and then reconcile that with your understanding. So read real quick Job 3:17.
It's the book of Job, chapter 3, verse 17.
In hell, people are getting tormented. Is that your understanding?
Well, my understanding, you would say that they have a golf stick, from my understanding.
Are they're being tormented though, right?
On one side, Abraham bosom, on the other side, being tormented. Yeah.
Okay, so there are people in hell being tormented.
Souls, yeah.
Okay, but see, that's what I'm saying. So read this.
Verse 17. There the wicked cease from troubling, and there the weary be at rest. There the prisoners rest together.
Prisoners, the people are resting there.
So when you saying Job, I'm saying this.
This is talking about the spirit world. Go ahead.
They hear not the voice of the oppressor.
Now you said, wait a minute, right? Now going back to the parable with Lazarus, there's one on one side, another on the other side. And if you go into the parable, I believe one told the other one, let me dip your finger in the water and let me have some, right?
Right.
But if there's one wicked on one side and one righteous on the other side, read that last part again.
They hear not the voice of the oppressor.
Well, it said they don't hear the voice of the oppressor. See, that's so we're taking that and then trying to plug that into that understanding. It just doesn't make sense, King.
No, I feel you. But what I'm saying, the word descend got me, like, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. I ain't taking it all the way. It is, whatever. But from my understanding, that's what I'm saying. You reading out the Bible, I can't disagree with the Bible.
Okay.
You know, so but from my understanding, when they say descend, whatever, so you got another word for descend. You know, let me find it right quick. I'm listening.
All right, read it. Keep going.
The small and great are there, and the servant is free from his master. Wherefore is light given to him that is in misery, and
That's it on that. Now give me, hold on, let me see. Go back to Ecclesiastes. Go back to Ecclesiastes.
Read verse 16. So I want to establish something.
Hey.
this is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 16. And moreover, I saw under the sun, the place of judgment.
So the place of judgment is under the sun. Go ahead, it takes place on the earth. Keep going.
That wickedness was there, and the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there.
Now jump to verse 20.
Verse 20. All go unto one place.
So the scripture plainly, King, all go into one place. Not one go to one side, another go to the other side. One goes down, one goes up. It says all go to one place.
So I agree with that. So
How do we reconcile that with that understanding?
When they say all go to one place, I'm thinking the book all go to the subterranean region. So when it said, like when we die, the Bible don't say nobody go to heaven. You know, the Christian church taught us if you die, you go to heaven.
Right.
You know, the spirit goes to heaven. Go back. I think it said go back to the Father.
Yeah, Ecclesiastes 12:7. Yeah.
So when they say go back, I think, but y'all don't read the what's that? When they say it's like when they say the Father, like.
You talking about the added verses in 2nd Ezra? I think that's what you're talking about. But real quick too, King, because I'm trying to figure out like what you're saying. So your interpretation of all going to one place is that they all go to Abraham's bosom.
Yeah.
But is one side of Abraham's bosom the same as the other side?
Well, no, I'm just saying, just like right here, we all right here, whatever. This side or that side, we all right here. It ain't like one here.
But we're not in the same place though. You're over there, I'm over here.
No, when I'm saying the same place, like just say we all, I don't know what you call it, downtown Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? We all in the same place, downtown Atlanta. So that's what my understanding. What I'm saying when they say the bosom of Abraham, you know what I'm saying? When they say, so when I find this one verse, I think that should clear it up, and we can knock it out, knock it off right there.
All right. You know, I'm just trying to understand if the wicked go on one side, right, and the righteous go on another side,
right.
They're not in the same place.
Oh,
They're not, right?
no, I hear what you're saying.
Right, you see what I'm saying? So go ahead, though.
Well, from my understanding, I'm thinking they mean in the same subterranean region.
Okay.
You know,
So are we able to, like, is it literally in the middle of the earth?
literally.
So we could, is it possible, like, to dig down there? Can we dig a hole deep enough to go to hell?
I don't know. I'm guessing it's really in the spiritual world now, whatever, you know what I'm saying?
But I thought you said it was in the middle.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's under there, whatever, but...
So hypothetically, someone could drill to hell and see like one of their friends that went to hell.
You trying to make it sound cuckoo now, whatever.
No, I'm just trying to understand what you're thinking so I can better answer.
In the middle of the earth. That's all. Just like the belly of the whale. I know you gave me understanding earlier with the belly of the whale and belly of the earth. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just going on. I guarantee I'm gonna find that 2 minutes.
All right, give me
I'm gonna find that 2 minutes.
Genesis 37 real quick too.
Hold on.
35. All right, started. Yeah. Read verse 35.
It's the book of Genesis chapter 37, verse 35.
Are you familiar with the story of Joseph, how his brothers sold him into slavery and how they faked his death, right? Now, read this. Go ahead.
And all his sons and all his daughters rose up to comfort him.
Talking about Jacob. Go ahead.
But he refused to be comforted. And he said, for I will go down into the grave unto my son mourning.
What does that mean?
Yeah, well, are you gonna die? Wait,
read it again. Read it again.
I found it.
But he refused to be comforted. And he said, for I will go down into the grave unto my son mourning.
So is he gonna go? So Jacob has access to the middle of the earth, and he's gonna try to see Joe. So what does that mean? Okay.
He's gonna go into the grave mourning for his son, right?
He's gonna read it again.
And he said, for I will go down into the grave.
I'll go down into the grave.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
He's gonna die.
He's gonna die?
Yeah, you know how people say, man, you're gonna put me in the grave. You know what I'm saying?
So Jacob is saying he's gonna die.
Okay, read it. Yeah, that's what I'm understanding. Read it.
Read it again.
For I will go down into the grave unto my son mourning.
So, mourning for my son, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna, you know how you stress, whatever? That's, I might be wrong with that, but I might be wrong with that. Remember when he thought that he told him a wild beast?
Look, here's what you not understanding. Read it again.
For I will go down.
I will what?
For I will go down.
To what?
Into the grave.
So let's follow what you're saying. I will go down. Into the what?
Grave.
Grave. He's descending, right?
Right.
Where is he descending to?
In the grave.
In the ground, right?
Right.
Hell.
No, I believe.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
that's what he's descending to. Just a 6 foot box. You see what I'm saying? That's where he's going. That's what he's descending to. He ain't descending to the underworld, because you said everyone goes there, to the subterranean realm, right? Right. Psalm 63 and 9. Everybody go there, right? So let's see what David said. If this subterranean realm is what everyone's going to, let's see. Read that.
This is the book of Psalms chapter 63. You said in verse 9. But those that seek my soul.
Okay, so the enemies are there. He said, those that seek my soul, read on.
To destroy it.
To what?
To destroy it.
The niggas don't want to kill me, right? Read, where should they go?
Shall go into the lower parts of the earth.
Wait a minute. So where they going to go to? That's the subterranean realm?
Wait, who does say that again?
This is David talking about the people who's trying to get him.
Yeah.
They're going to go into the subterranean part.
He's talking about going to caves and stuff.
I'm saying it mean their ass going to die. That's what he's saying. They're going to be put in the grave.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. But see, he said lower parts of the earth, right? So that would, ain't that the subterranean realm?
Well, no, that's the grave. Like I told you.
That's what I'm saying. It's the grave.
Right.
So that's all I'm demonstrating, that you got the grave or you got the hellish condition. I'm saying it's that subterranean realm. I'm not seeing it.
But that's
in
why
scripture.
I believe in the grave. I believe in our condition. And also I believe in
the actual place.
The actual place.
So if it's a hell, why we gotta go through slavery? So why we gotta go through all this punishment? But why? For our sins, right?
Yeah.
So why we gotta get punished on earth if you gonna get punished in hell?
We didn't have to get punished on earth. We chose to do that.
Hold on, but if God's mechanism of punishing people is putting them in hell, what's the point of the last 500 years?
No. This our doing, whatever. You know, we don't think like God, whatever. So this our point. If I steal from you, you hit me in the head. That's my judgment.
Yeah.
I stole from you, hit me in the head.
You're
but
right.
Now I'm sinning against God. So now he got his judgment. So that's what I'm saying. That's what I mean with him. He got his judgment.
So who put us in slavery?
Right. I mean, God.
Okay, so that's his judgment, right?
No, I'm saying something you done with him.
Yeah, that for what we did, that's our judgment, right? So then now you're telling me I gotta go through that. Then some of us gotta go through hell and burn too.
I'm talking about the spiritual world, whatever. So what I'm saying is, so you saying all of us gonna make it in?
Of course, give me Romans 11 and what the Bible say.
Well, that's just saying all Israel, whatever.
He said all Israel shall be saved.
Right.
Boom.
Yeah, but that don't mean they being saved, whatever.
What you mean?
I mean, of course all Israel gonna be saved, but I'm not saying 100% of Israel when they say
All Israel, that's 100%. All Israel gonna be saved. Because you know why all Israel had to be saved? Because the Most High promised Abraham. So it don't matter what nobody did. That's what you got to understand. None of this is by works. The promise is by a promise and by faith. So Abraham's faith got us a promise that it don't matter what we do, we still gonna get in based off the promise. But some of us gonna have to get a judgment first and then come in later. That's all.
So you say it's almost like the same thing with angels then. So the angels ain't rebelling.
Where's the angels rebellion in the Bible, brother? That's what I'm saying. This is a lot of Christianity that you're talking about, and it's crossing things up. Right? The angels rebel. The angels cannot rebel.
I'm saying, but when they say angels, the angel was cast into the thing, so that don't mean angel.
When was the brother? Say, you talking about?
Okay, 2 Peter 2 and 4. Whatever. But God spare not the angels that sin, but cast them down into
Watch
hell.
this. Give me Revelation. Go ahead.
Cast them down into hell, deliver them into chains and darkness. So what I'm saying is that angels or is that what is that?
I'm gonna show you. What an angel is. Go ahead. Where we at? Give me to the angel Revelation 2. Right. Revelation 2. And let's just start right in 3. Actually 3 and 1. Let's start here. Right. Read it.
All right, this is the book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 1. And unto the angel of the church of Sardis.
Right, so there's an angel. What is that? Who is the angel of the church of Sardis? 7 angels. Okay, so who is each angel? Who is the angel that's over the church of Sardis? Oh, now watch this. It says, unto the angel of the church of Sardis, watch this, read.
Right, these things said he that has 7 spirits of God.
Tell this to that angel, read.
And the 7 stars. I know thy works, that thou hast a name, that thou livest, and art dead. Be watchful and strengthen the things which remain.
So you're telling an angel to be watchful and strengthen the things that remain. Read on.
That are ready to die. For I have not found thy works perfect before God.
All right, so you on the right path, but you're not perfect.
Right.
That's what he's telling the angel, right? Read, start at 1. Start at 1. Watch. Right, brother. Right? Now show him. Now start at 1 again real quick.
And unto the angel of the church of Sardis.
So he's writing to this angel. And he's telling him, you're doing all right, but you're not perfect.
No. That
Hold up. But no, he's writing to the angel of the church.
Right.
So who is the angel of the church? The leader of the church. Because angel just means messenger. So the brother who's the leader or the, whatever you want to call it, chief priest or bishop of the church, that's who he's giving the message to. So it's showing you how we're the angels, brother. You see what I'm saying? Now, and there's a context where the angels in reference to us. There's also a context where the angels in reference to a supernatural being as well, right? That's a celestial being. It's not like us. But we are also angels because it simply means messenger. That's what it means. So we do. You see what I'm saying? So he writing to brothers that's leading these churches and trying to tell them to get his church right and on the right path.
Right.
And he's calling them an angel. Now watch this, read.
This is the book, 2nd Esdras, chapter 1 and verse 4. Go thy way, verse 40. Nahum and Habakkuk, Sophonias, Agnias, Zachary, and Malachi, which is called also the angel of the Lord.
See that? So they show you that the prophets, certain men, he was calling angels as well. So we're talking about the angels is in chains of darkness, just talking about us in captivity. Same way like the spirits in prison. It's us in our captivity. You see what I'm saying?
What is it but that he also descended first into the lower parts of the earth?
To the lower parts of the earth. Now you just said, when we read 63 and 9, the lower parts of the earth, just talking about the grave.
Yeah, in that verse.
Right, boom. So how the lower parts of the earth talking about something else now?
To the other one about the souls being prison, whatever.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? So, no, you gave me a verse, whatever. So, that's what I'm saying. I just gotta
Yeah, no, that's all right. Just, you know what I'm saying, go and think about it, meditate on it, brother. That's all you gotta do, you know what I'm saying? You gotta, like I said, let every man be fully persuaded in his own mind, you know what I'm saying? So you gotta figure it out, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, just, you know what I'm saying, meditate on the verses, you know what I'm saying? If you subscribe to the channel?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so, I mean, it'll probably be a few weeks for the video out. We got a lot of backlog, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying, if you ain't catch anything, you know what I'm saying, it'll be on the tape.
I ain't know you gonna come with it. So, I'm a group.
Come. And even also, let me give me Lazarus real quick in the rich man. I'm gonna show you something, right? Just dealing with that. And Abraham bosom and all. We agree it's a parable, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Boom. All right. So where we at? You know where it's at? Luke 16. Yeah, Luke 16 is good. Luke 16. Right there, 19, right? Let's start at 19. Go ahead.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 16, verse 19. There was a certain rich man, which was clothed in purple and fine linen, and fared sumptuously every day.
Let's stop there. Hold that. Revelation 18:4, right? So we got a rich man. He clothed in purple and he fared sumptuously every day. We got to see where else. Somebody only say this one other time in the Bible. I'm going to show you, right? Read.
Revelation chapter 18, verse 4.
So like not 4. Now I called for the purple. Hold on. It's right here. It's right here. 18 and 16. Go ahead.
Verse 16. And saying, alas, that great city, that which is clothed in fine linen and purple,
Great read.
and scarlet, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls.
Right, so now go back to Luke 16, right? So establishing the parallel now between the rich man and Babylon, right? Read on.
There was a certain rich man which was clothed in purple and fine linen, and fared sumptuously every day. And there was a certain beggar named Lazarus.
Lazarus, right? You know what Lazarus means in the Hebrew? It means God is my help, right? So now we got a rich man, and now we got Lazarus. So parabolically, somebody whose help is God, and then somebody who's rich in the world, right? Read.
Which was laid at his gate, full of sores.
So here this dude is. He laying at the gate. He full of sores, right? Read.
And desiring to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table.
And you just want a crumb, right? Ain't that a saying amongst our people? We just want a piece of the pie, right? Now I take a crumb off the pie, right? Read.
Moreover,
and we begging. What all we do, we want to beg him for it, right? Go ahead.
Moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores.
So the dogs come and lick the sores, right? How the dogs come and lick our sores? Welfare, Section 8, this and that's how they come and lick our sores, right? Give you a little bit of healing for your, it don't really heal your sore, but it just like a little bit, right? Go ahead.
And it came to pass that the beggar died and was carried by the angels unto Abraham's bosom. The rich man also died and was buried.
So both of them died, right? Go ahead.
And in hell he lifted up his eyes, being in torment.
So he's in torments, right? Watch this, read.
And seeth Abraham afar off, and Lazarus in his bosom.
Right, read on.
And he cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus that he may dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue, for I am tormented in this flame.
That's the key part, right? So the rich man said, Father Abraham, right? So is Esau Abraham's son?
No, I just called that. He said Father Abraham. He must have been Israelite.
Well, or he could be an Edomite too.
Yeah, that's true.
See? Right, now Father Abraham, he say, now look, notice what he say. He asking him to tell Lazarus to have mercy on him. If it's this torment down there, how Lazarus in charge of the torment?
Well, no, I'm saying we got a great gulf between them.
No, but watch what it say. Read it again.
And he cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus, that he may dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue.
So he asking him for mercy through Lazarus. So Lazarus is giving the mercy here, right? Because he's in fire being tormented, right? Read.
For I am tormented in this flame. But Abraham said, Son, remember that thou in thy lifetime receivest thy good things.
You got your good things when you live, right? Read.
And likewise Lazarus evil things. But now he is comforted, and thou art tormented.
Now you're being tormented when he's being comforted, right? You got what I need? Deuteronomy 4:20. Watch this, right? Remember, he's getting tormented. It's like fire, right? Go ahead.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, verse 20. But the Lord hath taken you and brought you forth out of the iron furnace, even out of Egypt.
Where was Egypt?
Out of the iron furnace.
The iron furnace. What happened for you? On fire, right? So now Esau on fire, and he want Lazarus to have some mercy on him. It's talking about when we put them in the iron furnace, when we got them in slavery. When our kingdom comes, they're going to be begging us for mercy. And Abraham say, y'all already got y'all mercy, man. It's y'all time. We had it rough. Now it's your turn, right? Now go back to Luke 16, right? Because it's going. I'm gonna get the exclamation point on it. Go ahead.
But Slakia, verse 26. And beside all this, between us and you there is a great gulf fixed, so that they which will pass from hence to you cannot.
Basically, just like how the white man got a glass ceiling in his society. Ain't but so far one of us can get. You see what I'm saying, right? Go ahead.
Neither can they pass to us that will come from thence. Then he said, I pray thee, therefore, Father, that thou wouldest send him to my father's house.
So now send him to my father's house, right, Reed?
For I have 5 brethren, that he may testify unto them.
See, I got 5 brothers. So maybe if you would tell my brothers, maybe they won't do this, right? Here's what's interesting. Esau had 6 tribes. 1 plus 5, right? Now also, who was the king at this time over Israel? Herod, who's the Edomite, right? How many brothers he had? 5. See that? So when Yahweh started talking about the palace, and he's talking about Herod sitting in the palace, and ultimately referencing the Edomites, right? So go ahead.
Lest they also come into this place of torment. Abraham said unto him, they have Moses and the prophets, let them hear them.
Like Obadiah, for example, right? A lot of these prophets pronounced the judgment because of what y'all did to Israel. Edom, you're going to get this judgment. They don't listen. They didn't stop being wicked to us still, right? So what Abraham's saying, man, they listen. They already got their warning. They don't care. All your 5 brothers, they all coming in, right? Go ahead.
And he said, nay, Father Abraham, but if one went unto them from the dead, they will repent. And
if a dead man rises, the white man, he just going to be easy on it. When a dead man rose in Yahweh shot Christ, right? And they, guess what? They came 70 AD and just destroyed our whole country, right? Read.
And he said unto him, if they hear not Moses and the prophets, neither will they be persuaded, though one rose from the dead.
Right, then no matter what, you see what I'm saying? So that's what the parable is going into. Definitely, man. What's your name again, King? Zeron, man. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Definitely. With that, we gonna wrap up. What time? Yeah, we wrap it up. All right, with that, we're going to give all praise, honor, and glory unto the Most High God, Yahweh. We do so in the name of His Son, Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, and we say death to America. Death to America.
Shalom, what's going on? It's your brother, Chief Priest Alazar Bonoya, a.k.a. the Guerrilla Hebrew, and I'm just letting y'all know I just dropped my official clothing line, Urban Guerrilla. Go to urbangorilla.com right now to check us out, man, and pick something up. There's URBNGRLA.com. We got all kind of items for men, women, children, even infants, as well as fragrance oil, smell goods. You can also check out Hebrew Israelite Clothing Co., another Sicarii business, on Instagram and Facebook. And as always, you can hit up deaconsicari.com to get your plug on the scarves, the music, and the children's Bibles. Thanks for your time. All praise to the Most High. Kwam Yasharahla. Shalom.